with WingedC, the new face, I guess, of Lancaster MMA, and
I guess.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to start out for people who in Central PA who aren't kind of aware of your story. How did you get into MMA? Because I know you weren't always a fighter. So to speak.
Yeah, it was the voices in my head. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. And it was either I did like a coin flip. It was either MMA or terrorism, and it landed on MMA. So I guess we're all lucky.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good thing for everyone else. So I guess explain to other people, because right now they just see you with a bandana, you with some little wings. What is the kind of overall appeal of WingedC, and why should people want to watch you fight?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It's like people that are cringe are funny to laugh at. So it's like they look at me and they're like, "This guy is," and then I knock someone out. So it's like two conflict. I actually don't know. Yeah. I guess I'm funny.
So you have your first.
I'm making him smile.
You have your first pro fight coming up next week against Eve Nelson at the Whitaker Center in Harrisburg. You're doing it in Central PA. You're from Lancaster, went to Manheim Township, wrestled there. How cool is it to kind of have this experience to make your pro debut in your hometown? Not your hometown, but your home area.
It's kind of cool. Whitaker Center kind of sucks because they have a higher entertainment tax than like LA and New York. So like low key, it's like the low curriculum. The water is about to be $6, which is gonna blow for everyone that's coming there. But like, it's cool, I guess. I'm gonna have a lot of people show up. A lot of most of the people on this card are characters in my story. So it's like, I feel like I'm like entering the grand line. You know what I'm saying?
And you're gonna be a pro fighter, but you've said like when you started, you didn't even like fighting. Can you kind of explain what it was that kind of drew you to?
Yeah, I did. So when he says I don't like fighting, I didn't like watching fighting, because fighting is low key boring, because everyone's boring. I like watching anime, so it's like I love seeing the stories, and like Uzumaki, Goku, like freaking doing final smash. I just pissed off a lot of anime fans. That's what I enjoyed, and then I was like feeling depressed and worthless in 2022. So I was like, you know what I need to do? Fight someone. So then I went to Street Beefs. It was like a backyard fight club in Virginia, and then I got punched in the face, and I was like, this is actually my career path. I love getting punched in the face, and here we are.
Yep. I know a lot of people are wondering, because when you start to make your pro debut, there's one organization that everyone thinks about, that's a UFC. You've trained with and met some of the biggest names in the UFC, like George St. Pierre and Mighty Mouse. Have you heard from the UFC, and is that something that you're aspiring for, or are you just more worried about your own kind of personal journey?
Ask the question again. I wasn't paying attention.
So you've obviously, when you're making your pro debut, there's a final level that get into UFC. You've interacted with some of the biggest names in the UFC history. Have they reached out to you at all? Have they talked to you at all about?
I have Mighty Mouse's number.
Yeah.
And working with George St. Pierre was cool.
Is that a goal of yours, to fight in the UFC one day, or are you not worried about that?
Nah, I don't care. I just want to go to all the different places and fight a lot of different people. UFC, ShmooFC. If Dana wants me, then Dana wants me.
Yeah. And then last question, you talk a lot about your character, your story, your everything. I think a lot of people hear that and think professional wrestling, WWE. Is that something you've ever considered kind of exploring as well?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I did a 3v3 in Street Beefs, and that honestly was more fun than like a regular, I want to get jumped, actually. That would be a good fight, just me getting jumped by like 3 guys. I love anything that's like kind of entertaining and not boring. So anything along those lines. Maybe I'll punch a celestial dragon, who knows.
And then I guess one more question, because you do have this fight. What is the kind of work you've done on Eve Nelson? What's kind of the scouting report on this fight?
I looked up one of his fights and his amateur fights, and I wasn't really. It put me to. It was boring. I don't like watching fighting. It'll be all right. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Part of the storyline.
No final prediction, or are we getting?
My final prediction is that I kiss him on the mouth and fart on him.
All right, and that'll do it with WingedC and PennLive.